Here we go. Hello. Just give everybody a second to get in. Hey, Patty. Hey, Howard. Hello, everybody. Okay, today I am going to, how am I doing? I'm not doing great. In fact, I wasn't really going to do one of these, but, excuse me, I decided to go ahead and do it anyway, even though I'm not feeling great. But I figured since I had already skipped 2 weeks, no, feet can go away, thank you. I figured since I had skipped a couple of weeks, I should just go ahead and do one. And this was the simplest thing that I could think to do, because mostly I don't have to think and concentrate, and I won't have to talk a lot, which means I won't hopefully lose my voice again, which I'm having problems with, and we'll be seeing a throat doctor next week. So hopefully there's, I don't know, maybe they'll find more polyps in my vocal cords and get rid of them. But I'm doing more or less okay from the whole heart attack thing, and so it shouldn't be, I don't know, I should hopefully be feeling better soon. So anyways, we're going to do play piercings today, and figure, yeah, really, I can't possibly imagine why anybody would even ask that. So, boy, probably everybody here has already seen me do a play piercing demo at some point in time. If you can, invite your followers, because we only have like 12 people in here. Hopefully people will show up once I start stabbing myself. So anyways, the basic ingredients here are, let me move this over so we can do this. It's not a great view, is it? That's the way it goes. Let's see if we can get this in a little bit better. Well, it's just going to have to suffice. So basically here, in order to do this safely, which always seems to be a huge concern for people, oh my God, it's you. Great, thanks, Joe. Yes, this is Meg, and today I'm doing play piercings. Is this your first time here? It probably is, right? Anyways, all right, so to be safe, normally you would cover whatever surface you're going to use so that you don't spill blood everywhere, because, you know, blood everywhere is a bad thing. Normally, if I'm doing a scene somewhere, I'll go buy a drop cloth and lay this down somewhere, which is always a good idea to cover and protect everything that you're doing this on. And then the other thing that you need for protection, I'm just using paper towels because I'm going to do something small, is gloves. And the gloves are really to protect whoever is actually doing the piercings. I don't need to wear gloves because I'm going to be doing this to myself. So there won't be any need to worry about me getting blood on me, since it is my blood. Proctologist gloves. No, they're just regular exam gloves. So, open skin. Yeah, well, we'll be getting to the open skins in a minute. All right, so some of the other things you will need along the way are prep pads, which are gauze pads, and that's for cleanup, which you will see as I remove them. You need alcohol prep pads in order to clean initially and to clean for removal, because you don't want to start and end with dirty things. So, oh shoot, I can't do this too much or I lose my pattern, which I marked with little ink dots because I wanted it to be nice and neat. And then the other thing that we use are regular syringe needles, and these happen to be 25 gauge, 1.5 inch long, and you can get these in numbers of places. This is just part of a prescription that I received from a doctor. You can buy these online. They're a little bit more expensive that way. So we're going to get started, and I'm going to start poking. All your leftover bits, normally you would just put into a sharps container, which is always a good thing to have, especially when you're disposing of needles. So, time to start. Let's see if I can maybe get a better view. Can I zoom? My camera does not zoom very well. It tends to pop back out, but all right, we're gonna give this a shot. So if you haven't seen me do this before, this can look a little weird. And I'm doing it a little differently than what you're probably used to seeing. Come on. There we go. All right, so there we go. We have one piercing. And you notice that this time I've done it a little different than normal, in that I've gone in, out, and back in, because I'm not going to do a lacing this time. I'm going to do a pattern that's a little different, that won't require lacing. So this is a lot more work to do, and I'll probably mess the pattern up somewhere along the line, but we're going to give it a shot. But you always keep these handy so that you can put them back on later when you start removing them. If anybody has questions, you should ask now while I'm paying attention. Okay. So and there you go. It's as you can see, an interesting pattern that we're starting here with. And does it hurt? No, it actually doesn't hurt. Needles are very sharp when you go and get your blood test usually, or it doesn't hurt that much. This is very similar. This can be an endorphin high depending on how many needles you stick in. You know, it takes a little while for it to start affecting the nerves, so that you do get an endorphin high out of it, which you can. It just, everybody's a little different. And so now we're going to do a tricky part here. We're going to go in the other direction. And you may or may not have seen, some of you have seen me show pictures of piercings before. I don't know if I've shown this kind of piercing to you guys. And out. So there we go. So you can sort of see the pattern starting to develop. So I can get closer so you can see it. Any questions, people? I think everybody's dropping like flies here because of a lot of people freak out over the needle thing. And these are very shallow in the skin, so it's scaring them off. Yes, exactly. I noticed the number just like as soon as I got close, dropped by a few. Oh, there we go, more running away. And we'll continue on. Let's see here. And you can adjust as you go. Normally, people use patterns and mark these with little dots so they don't screw up. When you're doing a complicated pattern. Okay. Hello, people. I notice a lot of people come in really quick, and then when they see what's going on, they run away. Okay. And once again, if you have questions, feel free to ask. I will try to look up here between each needle so that you guys can see it and so that I can answer your questions. So there we go. You can sort of see the pattern developing. Why needles in the arm? Well, this is part of needle play, and I'm just showing a particular kind of pattern which I haven't done before, and it is interesting, and it can be an endorphin high, so some people enjoy this. And it is something that we do in BDSM play sometimes, depending on who's playing and whether or not they like it. I happen to like it. Why are there so many people? Everybody invite. That would be really cool. Everybody invite. There's probably very few people because notifications are not working very well because Apple and Google are flooded with notifications and their servers are throttling them. So this is, yeah, well, unfortunately, don't complain to Periscope because it's not their problem. I've noticed that all the notifications are in my list and they're just not beeping me, and that beeping and that message comes directly from Apple and Google servers. So this is, oh, you are? Well, then you should appreciate this sort of pretty pattern that I'm working on. Okay, moving right along. maybe one day if you live in the Bay Area, you might. So, as you can see, I'm sort of, I have marked the pattern with some dots. Oops, like not in view. And because I'm not used to doing this pattern, I am sort of winging it a bit. And the reason why I'm doing this is because people can make really outrageous patterns using this technique by having raised skin and then the having the needle stick through. People like make little hearts and little wavy lines. It's really quite pretty. Wow, it's like amazing. People are just come in and then they're gone in like 5 seconds. Pretty good. Okay. And once again, as you can see, the pattern is forming pretty nicely here. And you can see that they are pretty shallow. They are just barely underneath the skin. Just enough to raise it a bit. It almost looks like a scar bump kind of thing going on. Ouch. No, it doesn't actually hurt. Okay. Actually, it is, in many ways. It's satisfying artistically as well as sensation-wise. It's quite fun. And again, as you can see, no, I haven't. It's, you know, different strokes for different folks. It's just not my thing. But I know lots of people do like it. So, you know, everybody likes different things. Yeah, my favorite things are the plate piercings and the fire and electricity and knives. I like knives, and I like rope corsetry and okay. Well, I like lots of things, but my favorites are really the 3 things I demonstrate pretty regularly. So. I wish I was neater at this or had marked the pattern a little better so I could see what I'm doing, but as you can see, coming along. I'm not going to do more than, I think this might be my last one. Maybe one more, just so that it's symmetrical. And again, for those that can see, oh, we're getting more people in here. For those that have just joined in, my name is Megan, also known as MistressXmas, and obviously I'm into BDSM, and this is a plate piercing demo, as you can see, and I'm almost done. I think I'm going to do one more. Hello, foot slave. I have not done this particular design before. I've seen it done a bunch of times. I normally do lacings or like tying down. So I have not done this pattern before. And I'll show you a picture of one that sort of inspired this. It was just, I'm just trying to do this quickly, and even this is taking forever, so. Yeah, it's tricky. Okay, I think we're now sort of symmetrical, and that is pretty much it, so that you can see it's pretty amazing looking. That could be. Yeah, he probably might be, huh? Some people are really not into the needle thing, and usually it's men. Actually, I've only done this kind of needle play on one male. I've done this nearly exclusively on women. I think women being a little bit more adventurous sometimes than men when it comes to this kind of thing. So there we go. We are done, and I really sort of like it. It's pretty crazy. And let's see if I can actually show you the pattern that I could set you on fire sometime. Let's see here if I can get this around. Okay, I'm going to have to, how am I going to do this? Shoot. Why did I tie this like this? Okay, well, here we go. Hopefully, this is not going to kill this, but, all right, here we go, guys. Hopefully you can see where this came from. Is that, like, amazing? So there you go, right? Let's see if I can get this back in here without destroying everything. Ah, I did it. Okay. Before it gets all super red and puffy. Well, it does get a little red and possibly a little bit of bleeding when you do remove the needles. Mostly it is gone within about a day. Some people purposely like to make blood flow on these when they do them. So, anyways, so there you go. Play piercings. All right, so let's, I'm going to go ahead and pull these out now. And I think I would like, do you mind helping?
Sure.
All right, so I'm going to get the Ruthless in here to help me out here. And this way you can see how these are supposed to be properly removed. Alrighty, bye-bye, Mojo. I'm sure before I'm done this, everybody will be gone. Alrighty, so let's get this out of the way, and here's lots of gauze pads.
What do I need? Prepper gauze.
We'll put the gauze on top for pulling, and I will use these. Well, you know, for pulling through, normally when I do this, guys, I will lay an alcohol pad underneath the end of this needle part sticking out, because normally as I pull it through, if there had been any dust particles that might have fallen on it when it would get pulled out, then it would be cleaned before it gets pulled out. However, because it's going to go in, out, and then back in, that's probably not the best idea. So I think we're going to do it a little differently. We're going to lay it on top and then pull. So we'll do it this way. And then we'll put the gauze pad on after. Oh, wait, I gotta get this in camera so we can see it here. Shoot. All right, let's try it this way. I'll just keep my arm up. Oh, okay. And there we go. You just pull it out and you're done, and you can see there's a little tiny drop of blood. No, don't use the alcohol there because that will just make the blood run more. And we're done with that. So you got to put these little puppies back in their thing, and then these go in the sharps container. So, or gauze pad. Okay, so we will do it this way. With the needles being this close together, it's probably going to be more efficient to just to pull them all really quick and then do a cleanup after. So let's do that. Thank you. And we'll use a new one for each one because I don't want contamination. So as you can see, you just end up with two little tiny holes. And of course it's pressed in from where the middle was. And just like when you do your blood test, little gauze pad, and if you need to, you can put a Band-Aid on later. But usually just a little pressure for a couple minutes and it stops bleeding. Okay, another one. Thank you. Yeah, that's fine. Wonderful. Yeah, it's hard doing this with one hand. Yeah, just cover, yep, that whole part. Thank you. Excellent. Yeah, I'm not worried about that. It's going to bleed a little bit. Might as well go for all the blood we can. Normally I try to avoid a lot of blood, but it really doesn't matter. A lot of people are into the whole blood thing. By doing the compression on it sooner, you'll end up with a slightly less amount of bruising from if there is any bleeding. So if you want the marks to go away faster, you know, it's worth just doing the compression and holding it and taking your time during the removal. But if you don't care about the marks, it may take an extra day for them to go away. But usually it's pretty quick in any case. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to need a new gauze pad. Thank you. I am fine. How are you guys doing?
Want me to pull it?
Doesn't matter. Either way is fine. I do not speak foreign languages. Don't expect me to answer. What customs officers would think if you showed up at the border with all the needles, I don't know. I suppose as long as you brought the syringes that go with the needles, they probably wouldn't think twice, assuming you had actual injectable medications, but...
And the prescription.
And the prescription. Actually, that's true. If you have the prescription, they probably won't say anything. Okay, thank you. On to the last ones.
Like we haven't done this before.
Yep, a bunch of times. What is this for? This is for fun. Oh, we got a bleeder. Cool. This is called needle play. You're going to have to watch the replay to see what I had done here. But now we are just removing the needles and doing a little cleanup here. No, but a lot of people actually do. You can do labia or clitoral and scrotum. I don't know if anybody's ever done through a penis, but you know, people are willing to try almost anything these days, so it would be possible. Yeah, the clit would hurt like hell. I think the labia and the hood would probably be a little bit better. Thank you. And we're on to, okay, before I get this out for new people, there were, like, as you can see, a whole row of these in here, and these are just syringe needles, 25 gauge, 1.5 inches long, and we're currently in the removal process here. If you go back and look at the replay, you'll see what the pretty pattern was that we did, and we are done with that part. And all of this will go away within about a day, depending on if I hold this on here and keep it from bleeding so that it doesn't end up with a slight bruise. So all back to normal, all done. Exactly. And of course, all of these needles go into the sharps container and the gloves. Everything that is on this table that could have blood on it will get put in there as well. You want to show what you're doing there. Basically, if you just take all your stuff, all your wrappings and everything, you put it into the glove and then pull the glove over it. And this is pretty standard. Then there's no exposure to anything. And it all gets put away. So there you go, guys. That was it. And if you have questions, we can just talk for a few minutes. Well, thank you, Jeannie. I'm glad you liked it. And for those that are late, please watch the replay. And I'm sure you will find it somewhat interesting. So. And, oh, before I go, I would like to do one other little thing, and that is my friend Mojo Jonas, or Mojo Joe Jonas, oh no, I gotta get back a little farther, is doing I guess it's a 5K. She's got a team it's like a fundraiser for RAINN, which is the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network. So please go to this URL and either join the team, get a t-shirt, or donate money. So that would be really wonderful if you could do that. This is a great cause, and I think that just about covers it. So if you guys have any last questions, get rid of all of this crap. And back to me. Oh, we can unzoom. We don't need to see me like this close. All right. Okay, well, thank you, Patty. Obviously, nobody here is talking, so I'm just going to go ahead and go. Bye, everybody.